Hello, Yeti Nation. Get down to the Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Fay Farms, where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family Landscaping, make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House, where the Romans go. Dura Products, who's got the pipe? Jimmy Fay's got the pipe. Contact Jimmy Fay for irrigation, drainage, pool, and spa. You building a new house, contact Jimmy Fay. He's got your stuff. The B-Dry system. Your basement's wet? Get a hold of B-Dry. Believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, your local representative. George Kaler, Sales and Service. Liberty Affordable Housing. Rome Sign and Display Company. Nice Scoba. The men and women in blue, thank you for what you do. Robert Dix Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix. Tri-City Lacrosse. 40 years of summer fun. Master Vito Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family.
Hello, Yeti Nation.
What's up, Yeti Nation? Hello, Greg Beecher. What up, Yeti Nation? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Life is good. My hip's hurting worse and worse, so I can't move much. But I tell you what, it got me sitting back down on the computer the last couple days. Really today mainly started filming some stuff or cutting some videos from Lax and I. Wow, there is so much content I have from that in the Nations Cup. So much talent out there. But speaking of all this talent, wow, that Vegas, Firewolves game for me, obviously, I liked it. It was a great showing.
Awesome.
But how about them goalies to come back? Both goalies, the first shot was a goal. Marshall Paulus scored. They disallowed it because of the shot clock, but everybody knows that was a goal.
Yeah, let the boys, it was a good thing, bad thing with replay, but it took 10 minutes to get 30 seconds of play taken care of. And it's like, my goodness, the guys are going to need to stretch out again. It was an incredible game. I thought it was fabulous. All the hype that I was thinking, and you know what? I'm definitely becoming a little bit of an Albany fan. No question there.
I tell you, Clarkey is doing a great job. They brought a bunch of young kids in. They're really expecting Paulus to kind of blow up. Ethan Walker looked great, though. Ty Kurtz, so many of the young guys. But what I really...
They was on fire. But Paulus, man, ground balls. That guy was a sponge in regards to the rebounds. Getting that rebound and getting it back out and back into his teammates' hands.
Yeah,
I thought he had a great game.
Yeah. So, and he had 4 assists. We'll get down into the what do you know? He was the loose ball leader of the game too with 10. You called it.
Yeah, he was all over the place. He kept them hot, kept them alive, and banged out 4 assists on it too. A goal and 4 assists. He was huge in that game. I thought he was my MVP of that game.
Absolutely. He definitely, I'm super impressed. What I've heard though, go Wolves. We've got Josh in the comments. Can't wait to see you this weekend, Josh. We're going to be there right above the party zone. Hopefully you'll be there. But
we're gonna be loud and proud, no question.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But so I've heard from guys that talked to the coach. Clarkey said, they're really impressed with the young guys. Paulus came in looking super strong. But I mean,
Simmons came in on fire.
Yeah.
Alex, number 6 there. He came through the middle a couple times, let that behind the back go. I was like, that was very brave of him.
Yeah, Marshall had, how many behind the back assists? It was crazy to watch him play. But we'll get down into we'll break it down by the quarter. But yeah, it looked really good for the Desert Dogs coming out. They came out strong.
Very strong. 2 right off the bat. Boom, boom.
After the 10-minute break for the goal that was disallowed from Paulus.
Right. But as far as they're kind of old, I think, on the age side of things in regards to Greer is on his 19th year. He's up there.
Yeah, Greer's been playing for a couple of minutes.
Jackson coming over from San Diego. That was a huge pickup for them, no question there. He
Oh
was
yeah.
huge,
No, that
huge.
he was a huge part. And how about Bertrand? So they played
Well,
Bertrand out of the back door.
that's about it right there. That's what you pick up that Casey Jackson that pushed Bertrand out the back door, which was a good thing. But you want to know what? There was a lot of size that he wasn't an offensive issue at all. Not even. I don't even think he got one assist.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. Not assist. Had a couple nice passes, getting it around, and then he was off the floor.
Yeah, which is funny because when we watched him in Laxnigh, he was scoring goals. I found 4 clips of him. I was looking for somebody else's highlights in the game, and while I was looking for somebody's highlights, I saw like 3 Bertrand just unbelievable goals. That diving goal, a great shot, and another one on a quick stick. But I mean, so back on this game, like you said, Greer, they picked him up. He's a little older, but I mean, speaking of older guys, Benesh, we'll get onto him with Halifax, but he left the Firewolves and he is not looking like an old man at all. He's looking great at the start of the year. But Ethan Walker really stepping up and telling the Firewolves, let's go. Castlechuck,
Let's go.
scored. Paulus on the assist, and then Firth another. I was so excited with how the Firewolves looked so far. They're young guys. Everybody played together good. And when you look at the points, though, they're very evenly spread out. There's not one guy who like dominated the points.
It was exactly what you said. There was several top scorers on that game. It wasn't a one man gang. It was a true team effort. Defensively, not even defensively, but yeah, defensively, but team effort. They had one penalty.
Yeah. Well, how
One
about
penalty.
How about
One
Leo
penalty.
Leo Sturros, who plays for the Allegheny Arrows? We covered him all summer with there. One of the things I noticed about him, and you saw it, he did it in this game. I can't remember who it was. He drew him to take that stupid penalty off the faceoff. He can get under your skin like very few guys can get under your skin. I mean, the way like you've seen it, and he's just smiling at him while the guy's chopping at him and poking him with his stick. It was yeah. So kudos to Sturros. He also got a goal. I could hear the announcers talking that they should have used the replay, saved it for that. But I watched it a couple times. I think that was a good goal no matter what. And it was actually the tying goal. And there's nothing like a transition goal to get you fired up and in to it. And I mean, as you were watching it, you saw in that second half, it was like, okay, Albany's coming back. But then kudos to the Dogs. The Desert Dogs came back and pulled back ahead.
Well, and kudos to their man down defense.
Oh my,
They,
yeah,
they they kept well, I think they were 0 for 8.
yeah.
Almost
Albany's
0
power
for 8,
play
and
was
well,
not.
it may not be a power play, but guess what? If they're putting 12 points on the board with 5-on-5, you wonder what they should definitely be able, and they're talented enough to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. That's just called good goal. Kells, I don't know. He's a yipper.
Landon Kells, yeah, yeah.
At the end of the game, he's the one that started all that crap at the end of the game, and it's like, I remember when we was in Albany, he was the goalie that got in the fight, wasn't he?
No, that was
No,
Hartley.
that was Rochester. My bad, but
Yeah,
similar size and stature.
Hartley. Yeah, and
He's like a little terrier dog, just a little yipper. Back.
yeah.
Shut your hole.
Hartley had a Hartley had a terrible start to for Rochester as well. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But
A
then
little bit.
yeah, they went back and forth. Jackson ties the game up, and yeah, Ty's first goal that was huge. That
Yeah.
Ty
And
Kurtz gets his first goal.
Longbow coming through for that's a kid that played up at OCC, and he's a pro now. That's
Yeah.
great stuff.
No, I love seeing it. There's a ton of OCC guys on there. We're gonna have to have Bobo come on one of these nights and educate us just with the OCC and Herc alums that we got going around in the
Yep.
in the league. But yeah, and then really the fourth quarter, it looked like Albany was gonna fall into a slump, and Jackson stepped up huge. 2 goals for the Desert Dogs, brought them back into the lead after it looked like Albany. With Kurtz's first goal, I really thought I was like, here we go, Albany, foot on the gas, and then it was all of a sudden like, oh, never mind. I guess we're gonna just go into this slump again. And then Simmons for that young guy to score, and then Longboat coming back injured, and then Kurtz to again. Wow, you could not, as a Firewolves fan, I could not be happier.
It was definitely well worth the admission of purchasing the ESPN Plus. Shout out to them. It was great commentators. The live guys, they did a great job. They kept it entertaining. The game was back and forth. I was worried a little bit at the beginning with Dougie. Those outside shots,
He
I think that's his
kudos
nemesis, the outside shot.
kudos to Dougie for getting his head right
He
after
came
giving
back. He fought that. He fought the demon, no question. He
that
beat the
is.
demon on the outside.
I could never be a goalie. Yeah. So you see, quite a few penalties handled out at the end
But
after
that's all
Kels's.
at the very end there. Kel's got all yippy like a little terrier, and the Firewolves said, "See ya, go
Yeah,
home."
go home, buddy. Yeah, I tell you, Jackson DeShamora, he's a phenomenal defenseman. Plays for them. Burton, the whole group. It was awesome. But here's one thing that you notice when you look at this Firewolves as far as the points goes, and thanks NLL for doing such a good job with your website, so we can.
They did.
Yeah, but all of the points are spread out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have one guy scoring a ton. I mean, but what
You'll
I
see
want.
that. You'll see that in other games that we go over here. There's no question.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of teams, but I mean, let's just talk about how the guys, like the young players that started. So you had Ty Kurtz, Alex Simmons, Travis Longboat because of the injury, all playing, and Marshall Powless really now he's going into his fourth year, I think, third or fourth year.
Yes,
But so he really as a leader, great for assists. He throws that behind the back. He doesn't telegraph it at all. And as long as these guys can keep this going, sharing the points out. Colton Watkinson, first game as the captain. Kudos to him. Definitely earned it. One of them transition guys. Like I said, I was super excited to watch Sturos get up the floor and score. I was yelling "Go Arrows" when he did it, and when he got that guy to start fighting with him. Uh, yeah, kudos to them.
got
But
in there. Got in the mind. That's part of the game. Get
yeah,
in the
but
mind.
their D played really well. Like when you
Sure
look
did.
at the goals and how that broke down after, it was shots on goal. Landon Kells had, 9 more. That's a huge difference. It doesn't sound like it is, but really, when you're talking these games are all 1 or 2 goals, that is such a huge, huge advantage.
Again, and it goes back to Paulus
Yeah.
getting those rebounds. I mean, and keeping the ball at one time. I want to say it was definitely the third period, I believe. I don't believe Vegas was much in the Firewolves end of the floor at all. It was because of ground ball action.
Yeah, no, it
And
was they did the third quarter, like I said, they looked phenomenally, really saw the team step up. But Josh brings up a good point here. It is a double-edged sword with the Firewolves because when you need that guy to score the clutch goal, do you have that guy? That being said, I'm more of a fan of the everybody scores because if you have that guy that you need to get a sock trick every night or at least 5 goals, they start taking too many shots. If they have an off night, the whole team doesn't function. You start to see the bickering. The offense doesn't flow right. So, no, I think Clark East did a great job putting together, essentially a young team. But we've also seen the Firewolves start hot last year. They beat the Bandits, and everybody knows, the Bandits went on to win. So really, yeah, hopefully they can keep it together. I'm really hoping, that they've got it all figured out. But before we get into the rest of these games, I had a chance to talk with Steven Stamp a little bit, and he told me I could actually throw this up here. He, with Inside Lacrosse, he does the 3 ups and 3 downs basically, where he goes through and he picks his big 3 winners essentially, the top three and the losers. You said you didn't get a chance to watch that Halifax game, but Jake Withers is wow. He is. I'm telling you right now, if I'm starting an NLL franchise, and I mean no disrespect to any of my Firewolves, I am taking Jake Withers because he does face-offs. He's a great defensive player, and the attitude. Every once in a while, you'll see he takes a little too far. He'll take a penalty, but it's what you get when you get an emotional player like that. And he is just so much fun to watch.
sure, absolutely.
Then you had Chigliano, though, also in that Halifax game. He did not do very well at all. He came in, they pulled him. At one point, it was 7 goals out of 16 shots. This is his first year with the Rush. Like Stamp says in his article, everybody, I encourage you to check it out. The link's in the description. But he just kind of points out some things. He probably is going to play better. This is probably his worst game of the year. Kudos to him to get back. But what a surprise for me, Hartley for the Nighthawks. He was a very huge part of their success early last year. and he did not do well. But I tell you, Stamp told me at Laxnigh, he said Riley Hutchcraft is that player. He played at Laxnigh, and I tell you, wow.
Yeah, well, 28 saves. He definitely was seeing the ball. There's
Well,
no question.
and to come in cold. So yeah, I mean, it was 8 goals on 14 shots when they pulled Hartley, and yeah, then Hutchcraft stepped in, and kudos to Hutchcraft for stepping up and doing what he needed to do. But yeah, he downvoted on Calgary's lead management with the game, and he kind of gives them some smack that they were up, and they lost a lot of it back, but they were able to. They're resilient. I can't wait. I'm going to talk to Owen about that one soon. Uh, Vancouver though, without Sean, you saw the effect on the offense.
Right, right. Hey, Beecher, not to jump to off of the Panther City in Vancouver, but we was just talking a couple seconds ago as far as people taking a bunch of shots. You got Connor Fields. He was 4 goals, 6 assists. You wouldn't want that kid on your team though either. That's but he had 18 shots. How many of
That's what I was just gonna say. Is the problem is
yeah,
when you take 18 shots, that's a whole different. You start to run into that problem. And we also saw so when Connor Fields he got injured last year and he was not the same afterwards, and the team just fell apart. It was bad.
it's going to be interesting with Rochester as far as how much of that offense is because of Connor Fields. They better hope for. I love Albany's stature, though. Having 5 guys spreading out the love versus one guy just taking control. But then you get into that, and I know I'm jumping. Go on to Vancouver and Panther City
I
again
just went
because
back to. I
oh,
finally got these guys pulled up for you, though, Paul. I was like all
okay,
excited. I got your. No, we went to this one. We'll go right on to these guys. So you had, like you said, Connor Fields led the way with four goals. He had 6 points, which means he had 2 assists.
yeah.
And guaranteed, though, when you look at shots on goal, yep, there he is, 18 shots, just like you said. Uh,
And
that's a lot
that
of shots to
that's a
take.
lot of offense, in regards to. But again, yeah, a W's the W. They came in and put what 50 shots on. They had a lot of offense. They was
I mean,
definitely doing their job.
so he's still scoring 22% of the time. You want the guys to be around 25% is what I've noticed going through the stats throughout as we've been doing this. Is if you get a guy that's shooting 25%, you're okay. You can kind of
Right.
that's about average. It's when they get below that, which he's 22%. But like you said, I mean, Connor Fields came out, scored quick, and then Hartley just did not play well at all. And kudos to Rochester to be able to climb their way back. And I think a big part of that is this Ryan Smith kid. I think it's his third year in the league now, and he's a monster of a young man. And when he's out there and he's on, he's hard to stop. I tell you, if they can get him scoring more and growing into it, and they don't rely too much on Fields, I think that's a huge asset for them.
Well, the best part about it, it's the beginning of the season. The season is young. These guys haven't been really, not to say they weren't game tested. Preseason's preseason, but now W's and L's mean something. Now you're going to see a lot of what they're really made of, and I'm excited to see what's coming this coming week. That's for sure. I'm
Yeah,
excited about that.
and when you look at this though, as you're looking through these shots, you see the third quarter though. I mean, Rochester didn't let Calgary score at all. Rochester's defense, they don't get a lot of credit. Hartley got a lot of credit for that, but I tell you, their defense, when they're on, they're on. If anybody who shuts down an NLL team, obviously, though Calgary really has to kind of look in the mirror after this game. You gave up a 10-5 lead and didn't get a goal in the third quarter. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a tough pill to swallow if you're Calgary. But they battled back in the fourth quarter, and then really at the end, like you said, it, Connor Fields steps up when he needs to. He kind of daggers the goal, and then they score with 20 seconds left. Yes, they can still win at that point, but in all honesty, when Connor Fields scored that goal, that was a huge sigh of relief. I mean, yeah, they still had several possessions left, but that 2 goal lead was nice, and then it looked like they were coming back. Jesse King, He's the captain for the Roughnecks. The assist there, off Dickinson. It's or Dixon, sorry. But Calgary will get better. Del Bianco is good. I mean, they've got a great team. I wouldn't be too nervous about it. They just got to figure out why they didn't score in the third quarter, really.
No, I'm just curious. Wasn't the goalie for the Rush last year? He had a pretty awesome interview at the end of the game that one time. Uh, what was
Yeah, the
the?
Saskatchewan goalie, Bouquet.
Yeah, that's who it was. That's who I couldn't think off the top of my
That
head.
was pretty epic. Bouquet's
Bouquet. That's
yeah,
it. That's
Bouquet.
it.
Yeah, that was definitely an epic he was pumped up and that's what it was. But I want to touch on this again real quick before we get off of this game
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is Del Bianco, 50 saves.
50 saves.
And he outlet passes so well. I think really the key to Calgary is as long as he stays healthy and their offense can figure out a way to score at least, a couple goals a quarter, they'll be fine. They're one of those teams that as long as they can get into double digits, you can't necessarily take him, you know, there he can hold him to it. He's that
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Ooh, that's a great question by Josh though. Back on that, do you start Hutchcraft or Hartley next game? So Hartley really was I mean Hartley what could have been the MVP of the season for most of it. I mean, he was phenomenal. So do you give him another chance or do you go to this I mean, and he's young plus Hutchcraft or do you trade one of them now? Yeah.
Is there an offensive threat out there that they can find to?
I don't know if they need that many more. They do need a more balanced offense. So I will definitely agree with you. That could be something. But I don't know if you give up having those two goalies because they both, like when Hartley's on, he's one of the best goalies in the league.
Sure,
He showed
sure.
it last year. But maybe teams were figuring him out, or he just had a bad night. It happens.
It does happen. As far as you pull them out, it happened in the game we talked about with Halifax. Didn't they pull the goalie and put him back in?
Yeah. We'll get onto that.
And
Halifax and Saskatchewan. They pulled Chigliano. They didn't
yeah,
have Bouquet playing, even though he did give that amazing speech at the end of the game. He was not the starting goalie. I wonder if he still. We'll have to look through the roster after and see if he's still on it. But I tell you, that was. And when you look through that box score, that's what you'll see though, is that Halifax came out to a huge lead. But then Halifax, their defense, at one point I want to say the Halifax defense had 4 saves before they finally got a shot through on Warren Hill. As I was watching the game, it was something like the defense had four. It might even been more than that. It was crazy. I mean, and when Warren Hill, he's another one of those guys when he's hot, but he has cold nights too. And
sure.
goalies like that's tough, man.
But again, it's nice to have the relief pitcher there that you can know he's going to come in and make those saves. And again, what happened? You bring your goalie back in, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah, no,
he performed.
Shigliano, he was pulled, and they put it in the backup. He didn't really do much better. He definitely did slightly better, but not good enough to justify it. And you brought Frank in there for a reason, so you wanted to put Shigliano in, and they did put him back in. And then he had a 90% save percentage, so he
Yeah,
definitely redeemed himself.
they
But
made it a game. They made it a game. It could have been
it was
a very bad blowout, and they made it a heck of a game. As far as at the end, they put the ball in the back of the net, and they were making a run. But
it was
that,
nice to see.
the second period and the third period, only getting one biscuit in the basket doesn't help.
That's what I mean. Is if you cannot really expect to win in this league if you can't put up double digits.
Yeah,
You have to. It seems like even if you've got a great defense, every team in the Firewolves. So 2 years ago when they were playing great, all of their games were 11-10 wins, 9-10, 11-9, and it was just they were brutal games, and it just goes right down to the wire. But Halifax's defense and having Jake Withers there on the faceoffs, they're just too good that if you give them that kind of lead, and how about I mean that first Benesh was looking great. It might have been Shigliano, but they had him figured out. Every time as he was stepping, he wasn't. They were just hitting it right through. And I think Benesh threw. I think his hat trick was all pretty much the same spot every shot. So he
Well,
definitely. Yeah, he saw something he liked and he figured it out. And then Shigliano, it he got dialed in much better. But I don't know, the Halifax team. I'm a huge Halifax fan. I love watching them. So if the Firewolves are on the road, first I watch the Firewolves game. Then my next game I'm watching is Halifax. If the
Yep.
Firewolves are home, the first game I'm watching is Halifax. I just love watching them. They're so passionate. Withers, I mean, their whole defense. Anytime I talk about these guys, I feel like I'm leaving somebody out, and it's crazy. They just have so much talent. But
You take a look, Cam Bomberry, or not Cam Bomberry, Jammer. He's what do you have? 4 assists. I think that's all he had. And it's crazy to think that I'm sure his PT time was huge on the minutes that he put on.
three
Cody
assists. He had
Jamison is
three assists and a goal.
3 assists. Yeah, you know and that's a coming from a guy that's got a lot of tread on the miles. We talked about it last week about him, where he wasn't even on the active roster at that point in time. They signed him the day of,
Cody?
or yeah,
No,
Jameson.
he was hurt.
Yeah, but he wasn't earlier in the week last week when they released. Wasn't he on the
He was on the
unable
injured.
to?
He
Yeah,
was
the unable to perform.
Yeah, he was on the injured roster. But yeah, I mean, he came out there. He looked like he was good. He didn't quite look like the spry pup he looked like last year. We talked about how great he looked last year. But I tell you, I can't not talk about Jake Withers. Just what a phenomenal player he is. And Clark Peterson, though, 5 goals, 3 assists. I mean, he had a great night. Austin Shanks dishing it out. Tarafanko looks great on defense. He picked up 7 loosies and he is so much fun to watch. That's what I mean. There's so much talent on that team. Tyson Bell looked good. He got his requisite 4 penalty minutes, but 9 loose balls. And he came out of the box on the penalty kill and turned it over. I mean, the guy was going down to score, and yeah. And I tell you, I love that watching Bo Hunter too. That young man is going to be phenomenal. I know his dad owns the team, so he's probably going to be there for a while. But I tell you, he is a great player. He
That
picks
was a
up.
kid down in not the Trenton kid, was it? Was that
No,
the Trenton kid
no,
from the PBLA though? That's
no. This is
that's the Can-Am kid that you were filming, right?
no, this guy I've never met these guys. His dad owns the Thunderbirds, and
Oh, okay, my bad.
yeah, no, I don't know any of these guys. If any of
Okay.
them would like to have us film,
Yeah,
get a
we'd
hold
love
of
to
us.
talk to him. That's for sure. That's what we're doing here is trying to build the game, and they're the ones building the game.
They're
We're
the ones
just here
building the game.
enjoying the yeah.
So
We're
I
just
said,
here helping spread the love of the game. That's for sure.
without their hard work, we would just be sitting here talking about nothing. But Ryan Manesh looked amazing. And I know Josh will understand this when I say how frustrating it is to watch him score this many goals. But I think his problem, he's 38, so he's my age. He's obviously in better shape than I am because he can still run. But how well is he going to survive this season? This game is brutal.
It's a brutal game, man. That's kind of what I was. I was on. Somebody had posted earlier on a Facebook or Twitter or something like that. I'm going to the game this coming week down in Albany, and then I'm also going out to the Bandits when they raise the banner. And he's like, "Why are you going?" And I'm like, "Just to watch these guys come across the middle, just wanting to get the ball, not even having the ball, but wanting to get the ball. The beatings that they take, the effort that they put in." It's worth the price of admission to watch what these guys are
The
physically doing. The NFL should be ashamed of what the product that they're putting on the field.
the emotion that these guys play with
Oh
is
yeah,
is second to none. All these
you
guys have
know,
full-time jobs for the most part, and they are just out there giving it their all. And that's why I love watching it and talking about it, because most of these guys are out there for the heart. And like, yeah, they've got some pro players. I love Josh's comment about the Rush jerseys looking, slick. But I love the new Halifax jerseys too. And I got to tell you, I am a huge sucker for the Halifax Thunderbirds. I'm just afraid they're going to do to me what they do every year, which is they come out of the gate storming and then it kind of slows down a little bit. But as long as they can hold up, every year they just seem to add a little bit more, and it gets a little better. So I am excited to see how they do, but I'm not going to get too optimistic.
it's definitely we haven't even talked about the Rock or Buffalo. That's they're They're non-existent right now. That was great games this past week.
Yeah,
Great
no,
games. The scores, there's no blowouts. The Panther City Vancouver was probably the largest score differential.
all right, well, let's go on to that one now. Let's talk about Vancouver. So, I mean, you definitely, I feel like you saw the effects of Sean Evans retiring. I feel like that's the obvious, to state the obvious is that happened. But really, when you look at Panther City being able to put up that 4 in the second quarter, that's, as you're looking through the quarter breakdowns, Vancouver comes out great. It's like, yeah, here we go. But then just Panther City, the slow and steady grind. I like this Panther City team. A lot of people are picking them to make it pretty far. I mean, as far as not all the way. Now with the new, there's no more East West. It's really the best and the best. I've
It's the
heard
best of the best that are making it now.
everybody's
That's
talking Toronto and Buffalo already. I mean, we'll find out, but I really think the star of this game for Panther City was Callum Crawford. Somebody chirped at him at one point. This is also in Stamper's article. I suggest you check it out if you like it. They're short reads. They're really informative. They're awesome. But the way he talks about the guy talking smack to Crawford, and then it just fired him up. And Crawford comes out and gets 5 goals, and really helps lead that team back. But yeah, Goudier for Panther City as well, and Damoud looking good. Uh, Panther City, a tough first half, but then they got to be our first quarter. Really, it wasn't even a first half.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is the one game I didn't watch or even wasn't able to get it. So everything what you're putting up here is awesome stuff, so
Ah.
that I can see
Oh
it.
no, yeah. See, I watched it all, and like I said, really the difference in this game was you see Crawford right at the end of the second, he
He's,
just comes alive, and
he
he
just blew it
has
up.
4 goals. Bing, bang, boom. Steps up
Yeah.
when they need him to. Stick gets hot, and he just unloads, gets his 4 goals, and then they just kept going though. They just didn't give up. They never gave Vancouver a run again. The defense really stepped up, and Damoud, kudos to them because they stopped every run. So when they scored, you see it wasn't a huge rush for Panther City. I like Panther City. I don't know if they're going to have the scoring power to keep up with some of these teams, but
Oh, we haven't
yeah,
even talked about the Seals either. Yeah,
no,
there's so much. There's a lot of ball out there still to go.
yeah. And actually, Josh talks it in the comments. He said, it is tough watching the Panther City game to see the empty seats. It's bright and distracting. But I tell you, I think it's one of those things that they're building it. And I've talked to some of the guys that are playing down there, and they really say they're doing it the right way, though. They're getting the kids involved. They've got some youth programs popping up around there. I think if they can afford to stay there for another year or two, I think you're going to really start to see it. Because you know how it is. You've run youth programs before, Paul. It takes you
Yeah.
2 or 3 years before you can really get your bearings where you start to know how you're looking.
Yeah, yeah, from youth programs all the way through the semi-professional now. You got to have a solid base.
Yeah,
That's you start with your fans that are local, and you try and brand it out, and that's the fun, interesting part about it is building it.
yeah. So former Firewolf Tony Malcolm, 1 goal, and he only took 2 shots, so he's not as much of a scoring threat as his brother is. Will he has really led the way for them several times as a young man. Started really coming on last year. If he can do it again, and they can't, I don't think they can expect Callum Crawford to score 5 goals a game. But he'll give you a hat trick probably most nights, I'll bet, if he can continue to play as well as he did. And as long as Malcolm steps up, other than that, they're one of those teams though. They win by by team.
Right.
They expect everybody to be a part of it. They score. Uh, Gautier with the 4 assists, like I said, that's huge. And Damoud, 43 saves. Like I said, a lot of the Panther City, their defense, they're a very good fit with Damoud. They played very well together. They're one of those teams. They're not going to, like I was talking about with the Firewolves, they're not going to win a game, but with 17 goals. And
Yep.
they actually cut Heine Thompson, so I'm not sure if he is gonna practice with them or what the deal is. But unfortunately, he's not with Albany. I'm not really sure what happened there. I should have tried to look in that a little more, but I did see he was cut by them, which is unfortunate because I don't think he's playing anywhere.
No, as far as Josh talking about the seats and everything like that, let's talk a little bit about that in regards to. I was watching the Vegas game. Vegas, it definitely was pretty empty at the beginning, and then it filled in after a little while. I gotta believe the dream for Albany is to get some people in that upper deck. Enough going around the lower deck. They want to open that upper deck like Buffalo does. I got to assume
Oh yeah,
someday.
and I think honestly though, most of this comes down to winning. If you start winning, you start bringing guys in. Albany does a good job. They're going to start. They have the kids programs come in and play in the halftime and stuff. You're going to see a lot of guys buying tickets to the games. You're going to see a lot of parents buying tickets to the games.
Oh no,
Albany.
did I lose you? Nope.
No, can you hear me? I
I can
froze
hear
up for
you.
a minute. All right,
Yeah.
but yeah. But let's get on to this Wings and Riptide game. I mean, wow, New York did they really struggled in the first, and when you look at the score, that was the difference. Philadelphia 3, and then they won by 3.
And then
So,
they won by 3. As far as shout out to Blaze Reardon for his 100th goal.
well,
That's
my favorite is too is a lot of people always talk about how he's overrated and this and that, but I tell you, he is a
you
difference
see the
maker.
pounding that guy takes. That guy takes a beating like Paulus does.
Oh my goodness! And but
He's so big that they have to pound on him that much where he just takes it and gets across the front of the goal. Great 100th goal too. That was pretty cool.
yeah, no, that was awesome. I love seeing it. He was up playing last night, Team USA. Yeah,
Yeah.
he so much fun to watch. I tell you, he is one of those guys when he comes to town. I always, I honestly used to buy tickets in the midfield to watch Baptiste take the faceoffs against um, Nardella, which he was back, which was amazing. Awesome to have Nardella back, coming back from the knee injury. He looked pretty good out there. But yeah, watching
The
Blaze
goalies,
score.
goalies, Higgins definitely stood on his head, and Cam definitely. The goalies were on fire this one too. Higgins had 49 saves.
Yeah,
That's a lot of saves.
that's a lot of saves, but it was nice to see Mitch Jones. He came halfway through the year from Vancouver, I believe, and when he came, he 6 assists. He's doing exactly what they want Mitch Jones to do. He's got 6 assists, 2 goals. You can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, as far as is it going to be a Jeff Teat season again where he's the offense? I
They,
mean,
he
15
had
shots. He only had one goal. He just out four assists, but 15 shots. That's not a lot of goals on 15 shots.
no. That's a very bad percentage. 1 for
Yeah,
15.
I mean, and that was pretty much their similar to Rochester last year. They were one man gangs. I thought.
Yeah, yeah. No, they are. That's the problem that they had. They've got Larson Sundown trying to help with the offense a little bit. I see they were pushing him, but you see, they didn't get on the board at all in the first, and that's a
No,
problem.
that's huge.
And you
That's
can't expect to win if you don't score.
No, no. Two power play goals for the Philly, and obviously, power play goals mean you were man down. So that's discipline at its in the first period. You got to be at your best
Yeah,
right off the bat. If you're wanting to win in this league, you got to be it all the way through.
yeah, no. I mean, and so there's Resetaris with the 2 assists and Jones with the assist. That is one thing is Philadelphia. They have a lot of guys who can shoot volume too on nights. Like Resetaris, some nights will take 30 shots. It seems like, but
Right.
when they spread the ball good, they're doing great.
Yeah. Again, Blaze 4 goals, 4 goals, and got his 100th. That's good for props to him. And wish I like the Philly fans. Is I've been to a game down there.
Philly fans are
When
tough, man.
they didn't like me heckling Chopper. I did my best to make sure Chopper shut up, and he I got back to the hotel room and I probably had a large pile of fries in my hoodie because they're just sitting in the background, tossing them into my hoodie all night long. Had no clue, but it was a great experience down at Philadelphia, and that was years ago. But it's a tough place to play at and a tough place to win at. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're a tough crowd, I tell you.
Yeah,
But I tell you what though, you got to give New York credit though. They did claw back. They made it a it was a 6-8 game, so they had it within two, and they just kudos to Philadelphia. That was the last time the Riptide didn't get a run after that. So they
Yeah.
went on their big run in the second quarter. And by big run I mean 3 goals. But Philadelphia, their defense and more the goalie play really, like you said, with 40 shots. They've got it they've got it worked out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't see much of the that game either, but I'm assuming that Higgins has an outlet. If you're getting that many, you're an outletter, and you're able to get the ball up and save goals for Dunkerley. Is that how you say his Cam?
Yeah, Dunkerley.
Same thing. 36 saves. These guys are getting the ball up and down. It's you know, it's going to be an awesome season.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking at that stat right now, 1 for 15. That is awful.
Awful.
That's not even in
You're
the
killing your offense. Talk about a offensive killer. Okay, so if he has 15 shots and you got
6.
30 seconds, 15 times 30 is
He's got
that's a
6
lot of seconds.
6 he's got a 6% shooting percentage right now. So that's not even, and it's actually 2/3. Yeah, 0.2/3. So it's yeah, less than 1. Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's 2/3 of 1%. Come on, bud. Yeah, but again, he might have just had a bad night. I tell you, Sundown looked good out there. But they need more offense. They need Riley O'Connor to step up. He had 3 assists and 1 goal. I tell you, when he played for the Firewolves, he's very inconsistent as far as goal scoring goes. You can always count on him to be a smart player up there on offense and get some assists. He moves the ball around good. But yeah, that T stat is brutal. That is wow.
Yeah,
Two-thirds of
that's
1%. But I tell you what, I couldn't be happier to watch Ron John running up and down the floor, and he looked pretty good out there. He ended up taking 6 shots, and he didn't get a goal. It's definitely not 15-1, but or no, I'm sorry, he didn't get yeah, 6 loose balls. I was reading the wrong stat. But Ron John, he plays for the Tuscarora Tomahawks.
yeah. Connor definitely did Kern in there. He definitely did his job. 2 goals, 3 assists, 8 ground balls.
Yeah,
That's definitely putting your time on the floor. That's for sure.
I tell you,
Wise time.
this is the first time I've seen it. I did not realize John LaFontaine is no longer a Firewolf. He will be sorely missed by me.
La 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 Fontaine. There
He
he is, right there, number
he
33.
yeah, he was one of my favorite Firewolves, honestly, because you could count on that guy. Like when you were having a night that the team wasn't scoring, he was gonna run up the floor and start throwing some picks that somebody was gonna want to fight, or they were gonna score a goal because somebody
Yeah,
was gonna be open. And that kind of heart you can't buy. I don't care. Watching that guy is so much fun to watch him play. Colton Watkinson, the same way, the captain. He's not really a fighter either, but he got in a fight one time last year. I don't even remember what happened. Somebody messed with one of the teammates, and that's why he's the captain now, I'm sure. But he ran and just dove right into it. He's like, we don't tolerate that kind of stuff. But
not
yeah,
here, not this place.
yeah. So kudos to them. But I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he plays. I hope he has a good year. He's a lot of fun to watch. Good on Long Island being able to watch him play. I'll tell you, he will be
Yeah,
sorely missed. But now we got to talk about Blaze Reardon some more. Wow,
Blaze, a little Blaze, please.
7 shots,
That's pretty good percentages, huh?
7 shots. That's crazy. Yeah, so that he's shooting 57. He's shooting almost 2/3. He's at almost 60%, while T is shooting 2/3 of 1%.
Uh-huh.
That's a brutal stat. And
That's
everybody was talking that Blaze. There's been a lot of smack talk about Blaze not belonging out there, and I've heard guys, but I tell you, wow, wow, that was awesome. Restateris did not get any goals, 5 shots, and that's always the problem with Restateris. When his stick is hot, man, is that boy on fire. But when he isn't, it just doesn't.
it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
an offensive killer.
well, the problem was like on this team, he doesn't. 5 shots, and you see a lot of the
That's not
guys
bad
7
though.
shots,
Five
9
shots, you
shots.
got 5 assists. Five
That's what
on
I
five
mean is,
shots. That's not bad.
but
That's
with the Firewolves, he was taking that 15, 20 shots. I think any team, once you start getting into that 15, 20 shot mark for one player, you got to look at it. Did you really have that much offense, or does all your offense run through one guy, which makes it by the end of the year, teams have that figured out. They make it so hard for that guy to score. They learn who all your systems are. It's tough. You need that well-rounded team, and I think that'll be huge, you know, for them. As you see Resiteris only taking 5 shots when one of their guys doesn't feel the need to step up and do it all. But they're definitely lethal. You could,
they're a contender in my opinion.
yeah,
There's no question.
they easily could be in the top. And especially with this not having to get out of the East or West, but everybody every year talks a ton of smack on Colorado, and then they end up making it pretty far. So we'll see how that pans out. And I tell you, the Seals, yeah, we haven't even gotten into
No,
talking
we haven't
about.
even talked to about these other teams, and just because these games that were so awesome, that's a great thing about it.
Yeah, it was an amazing week. So, other than the games that you're going to watch live, have you looked through the games next week? And if you have, what game are you most looking forward to watching?
Oh, there's no question in Albany.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to be there, so of course that's an easy pick.
Just to say past that, I came out of the woods yesterday. Tri City had their our first youth day, and I haven't had the opportunity to even look ahead other than Saturday night in Albany. That's the champs are coming into Albany. Albany's looking, I think, darn good. I mean, what I watched the other day, if they can come in and do what they have to do, you got Nanitoke. You got to take care of Nanitoke. You got to take care of Smith. Now, you got to score on that defense. And especially, if your man up is already 0 for 8 on the season and you aren't looking very good, that Buffalo defense it's nothing, if you can get a shot through to begin with, basing it off of last year's how they play. I'm sure it's not going to be much different other than a couple different players.
Yeah,
And
but how long can Matty Vince play like this? He's got to be. He's getting older. He's going to be slowing down. I'm hoping a little bit. No, I mean, obviously, I wish him nothing but the best because I don't wish anybody bad luck, especially in this
right, right,
sport. If you're
right.
going to go out there and put it out there for us to watch it, thank you very much. I won't wish anybody ill will, but I
Not at
really
all.
hope he doesn't play great tomorrow or this week. I will say that. I hope you have a terrible game, Mr. Vince, and I hope they put the
Even if
backup
he
in. And
is having a bad game, even if he is having a bad game, his defense proved it last year. I'm just hoping they can do it again this year. In a sense, I'm bitten in between. I'm a Buffalonian, so I'm all about Buffalo team sports. But I live just a hair stone's throw away from Albany, and they look damn good. And I get excited to see what Paulus can do coming through the middle. Can you get that defense off their marks, because that's how they play. Each one of them, every footstep is categorized. They know what they're doing every footstep. So it's getting them off their mark, getting Vince off his mark, and sneaking it past. Do they have the offense to do it? It's pretty. I don't know. I seen a pretty good offense last week.
Albany, if they play, and the other thing Albany has going for them is Buffalo had a bye week. Albany got to get their guys together. They're a young team. They got their guys together. Buffalo, they did just win too. They're going to be coming in, but I bet you there's going to be a ton of Bandits fans there. There's going to be a ton of Bandits fans there.
I would hope so. I would think that Albany is, it would be awesome to see them have to open up the upstairs. I think that would be great to see them pulling the curtains back and letting the people watch from the top side as well.
Yeah.
That's a nice view up there.
Oh, it is. It's nice up there, but I tell you, I still think I got the best seats in the
Oh,
house.
you got there's no question about that right there. You got the, we got to get you and Josh, you got to do it 3
We're
times and
we're
then give
working
them
on
a
we're working
mid-seat
on the
spot.
chant. We're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah,
the we're gonna get
we
to the
got to
game
help you
nice
guys
and
out a
early.
little bit.
We're gonna get to the game nice and early. We'll all talk about it and figure it out when we're there. But yeah, I mean, as looking that I think is going to be huge. Rochester playing Saskatchewan. The Rush have to bounce back. Josh talked about their jerseys. They are pretty sweet, but I don't think that's going to be a bounce back game. I think Rochester let that game get, they almost lost to Calgary. They're going to get up there hungry. I think they're going to take care of it. I can't wait to watch that Calgary San Diego game, though, because Calgary is going to come out fired up that they lost after they should have won that game. Everybody knows they should have won that game. Calgary knows they should have won that game. Rochester at one point knew they shouldn't have won that game. But kudos to them. They saved Hartley and they got more chance. He is 100% on your page. But Las Vegas, Panther City, that's another one. I think that's going to be huge. Not that they're doing the West East thing anymore, but those two teams, that is going to be a big rivalry there.
Cats is a man. That cat he's a dog. He's an Anatoke. He's a Smith. That's another guy I'd want on my team. Give me Randy Stats all day long.
Honestly though, having Stotts is he's a complete game changer. We forgive you now. Like Ron Kogan, I think, just assumes that he's going to be Coogan forever now.
I'm sorry, Ron. I don't mean it by anything. It's horrible. I had Rommel. He played for Syracuse when I was announcing the Empire State games. And Grandma, I was butchering the poor kid's name. And I don't mean it personally. Grandma comes up to the announcer's booth and she's like, "It's Rommel. Sounds like caramel. Rommel." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks. That's
yeah, that'll help."
It really threw me off. Even when people they do it, I sound things out. If I see it, that's how it comes out, and then you can tell me exactly how to say it 15 times, and the next time I'll have it. Yeah. Like Simmons for Albany. You want to know what? I'd be calling him Simons all day long.
The best is and you even know it's Simmons. And I know that you would sit there and call the game and call him Simons because you're reading the SI off the top of it. And that's just, it is what it is. We all have our little, our little hiccups when it comes to that.
It happens. And I truly don't mean it. And we had Ron and who was it? It was Gay Wasp brought a team down this past summer. And it was one of the, the CBLL. They had a championship series here in Utica.
The box law.
Yes, and they came down, and the final game was Team Haudenosaunee against Team USA in the championship game, and I had to announce all the names and all the native kids. I sit there, I look at the names, and I'm like, dear God, I'm going to butcher. I was panicking because I'm like, this is the championship game against Team USA. These kids are fired up, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I ran downstairs real quick, and I'm like, Coach, please do me a favor. I'll do everything. I just need you to
write it how I say it.
I want these kids to hear their names over the loudspeaker
the
proper way. And so I gave the coach and he did a great job. And I was so appreciative because I feel horrible sometimes because I want to hear my name. I know I get butchered a lot, and it's like.
So he was fluent in Noecker?
Noecker. Noecker's not the one.
He was fluent in Noecker? All right. Yeah. I still somehow spelled your name wrong, and I used to do that all the time. I mix up the O and the E, but yeah. When I first told Charity that it was Necker, she was like, "How do you get Necker out of that?" I was like, "I don't know."
The old silent. When my grandfather came over on the boat, there's a hyphen over the top of the O, and whatever that means.
They said goodbye.
Goodbye. I've been called No Decker. I'm like, where the hell do you even see a D?
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. All right, well, let's wrap this up, but let's wrap it up with some Yeti news. Why don't you tell us what's going on with the Yeti as far as we want to talk about our former Yeti Ryan Lewis now, what he's got going on.
I'm excited, to talk about Ryan Lewis. As far as former Yeti, he didn't play with us this past year, but he's got a new product out on the market, Lax Quiver, and I'm excited. It's in the building stages right now. He's gone through, and what it is, it's a gear carrying quiver. I mean, you got the.
There it is, right there. It's
right there, and that's pretty much what it is. It also not only carries the stick, but it carries your gloves on the outside. So these things are getting aired out instead of being stuffed inside of a bag. or stuffed on the head of your stick and everything like that. So
It's simple.
uh,
That's my favorite
it's
part about it when
simple.
you
It's
look at it.
got
It's
the
not a
class.
huge
Yeah.
bag. It's just a simple little thing. It's a spot like you said for your stick, your gloves, your cleats, everything hangs off it. You can put your arm guards. I mean, really, it's a very simple design. And honestly, if you had that around with a garbage bag, you'd be good to go.
Well, and that's,
In case it's gonna
it's
rain, you
easy
need
to
the
air
garbage
out. You
bag.
know what? You don't have to take the things out of your bag. They're already out of the bag. They're going to get air. They need fresh air so that the stank doesn't get stanking.
Yeah. No,
Because it.
genius. I saw that. That was my first thought. I was like, Brian Lewis, genius idea. And of course, when I got a hold of him today, he was not quite ready for the show. I called him like 5 minutes before we were about to go live as he was getting out of the shower. He said, I was like, come on, Ryan, you'll be good. He's like, no, well, let's do it next week.
Ain't
So,
happening this day. It ain't happening this day. But yeah, as far as we're excited, he's going to be coming on in maybe next week or the week after. We have Sports R Us. Mr. Boss is going to. He wants to get on. That's our locker room that has all of our apparel this week. This week only. Make sure anybody that's listening. I know it's out on the website on Facebook. I think I put it out on Instagram as well.
link in the
20%
description.
off. 20% off this week only on all the apparel. So $100, anything over $100 that you order, no shipping costs. As far as Team Boss is hooking us up, and you know, if you have some last minute gifts that you got to get on the website, take a look. You're going to save a little cash. You're going to get your fans, maybe even yourself, some sweet Yeti products. A lot of great stuff. The one thing on the pictures, what I wanted to, if you take a look, there's a picture on the sweatshirt. As far as it's not on there, is it up there? But the sweatshirt, the picture looks small. No, this is on the. That's not that. That's Uncommon Fits. Yeah, on this picture for the middle one there. Even if that's still
Keep sending
uncommon.
me.
Yeah, it happens. But
Yeah.
anyhow, as far as they're huge, it's not a small decal on the back of the shirt. It's a large decal where I'm impressed by it. I was like, wow. Usually you get a print on there it's a nice size print, but these ones are a little bit bigger, so I'm pretty excited about that. It stands out nicely. The Yeti T-shirt is the Dancing Yeti. That's a hot seller right now. I got a bunch of them coming in myself. I'm giving them out for some Christmas stocking stuffers for some people, and I'm excited. Anything that you're looking for, if something's not on there that you want, get a hold of them. As far as the customer service, that's what it's all about. He'll do what he can to find what you're looking for and get it printed up for you. So that's pretty cool stuff. There's so many different things.
Now we're on
Uh,
the right side at least, but this is not
now
yours. But they
there
can
is
find the
Sports
Yeti.
R Us.
There's the Utica Yeti shirt.
Well, and that's just the front side. On the back side, maybe it's not that one. I know on the sweatshirts it has the footprints on the front chest, and the back. There's Bang City, the boys from Bang City.
The boys from
Uh,
Bang.
yeah, they got a team store there too. If you want some Bang City swag, definitely get on there and check out Sports R Us. There's a lot of great stuff. Great stuff. The other ones, I definitely want you to get a hold of if you're looking for possibly getting some Christmas candy sent out. Get a hold of Nora's Candy Shop,
Now,
Candyland.
got to get a hold of Candyland. You can order it online. You can call them and order it. So now I've actually got your store. I do have the right link in the description, which is what I should have just done was clicked your
You
link in the
should have just followed
description.
my directions, Greg.
I sh-
I'm like
I should
precise
have.
on this
If
stuff.
I had clicked, yeah, if I had clicked the directions. So which hoodie did you want to see?
Well, as far as the sweatshirts, one of the there it is. That sweatshirt there. That and I had the sweatshirt on last week. The picture on the back is huge. It's a big Yeti picture. It's not a small looking. It kind of looks small on the back of the sweater there,
Yeah.
but it's actually a good size picture. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. But yeah, there's mugs. There's
Yeah,
whatever you want.
there's so much stuff on the site.
The blue
Get your
tie dye.
Yeti
I've got
t-shirt.
the blue tie dyes.
Those they're cool.
everything's there. And again, 20% off. It's a deal of deals. The stuff that is, for the most part, is, I believe, available. There's not a lot of things that are not American made, not American printed, we'll say. As far as everything is here in the States. So
Anybody
and
get you a yoga mat for when you get exhausted? We could just roll
that's
it out.
exactly no, it's for afterwards for the stretching.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. One of our former Yetis, a spirit as well, Ty Hill. He swears by it.
Oh,
Yoga is keeping the ligaments stretched out for a
I
guy that's
yeah.
older.
I used to do it, and if I still could, I would, but my hip doesn't move right, so doing
I
it
can't.
one-legged is not a good thing.
No, it's even more entertaining watching me try to get off the floor.
It probably we could just if we ever really wanted to go viral, we could probably just do a video of us two trying to actually do Utica. So that would be good. Oh, so Saturday is blackout night for the Firewolves.
Blackout night. That's why I'm wearing the Bag Square jersey, so
Ooh,
that
I might
yeah.
have to have you bring me a Bag Square
Oh,
jersey.
no, don't you worry about that. It's already in the bag, brother.
All right.
It's already in the stocking. It's in the stocking.
Sweet. Now I'll have a Bag Square jersey, so we'll be blacked out with Bag Square. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Paul, for doing this. Thanks so much, Josh, for being in the comments, and everybody else for watching. We really appreciate it. We're going to go to our sponsors real quick. Please check out our local sponsors, and also remember that, Lock Wiver, find him on Facebook. I threw the link in the description to this video as well, so you can just go click on that. It's a sweet setup for anybody. It's actually a great. He wants to make 10 and then sell them, or essentially give them to guys as like product testers, but he's going to do it at his house and sew them. I love what he's doing. Check it out. It's definitely a cool thing. I can't wait to talk to him about it. Anything else before we shut this off, Paul?
Hey, friends, be safe out there. Everybody, be kind to people. That's
I
what
like
the
it.
world needs. We need a little more kindness.
There we go. All right. Thanks, Paul.
Yeti Nation, rock out. Hello, Yeti Nation. Get down to the Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. They Farms. Where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family Landscaping. Make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House. Where the Romans go. Dura Products. Who's got the pipe? Jimmy Fay's got the pipe. Contact Jimmy Fay for irrigation, drainage, pool, and spa. You building a new house? Contact Jimmy Fay. He's got your stuff. The Beach